I think the perfect casting they could kind of do for sorry, a director or whatever, picking a director was, I think, Sean Gunn. What's his name? Sean Gunn.
James Gunn, right? James Gunn.
Oh, James Gunn. Yeah, what the hell? Who the hell is Sean Gunn?
Sean
Is his
Gunn.
brother's name Sean Gunn? Anyways.
Yes, his brother's name is Sean Gunn. He was also in. Wait, if James Gunn is out of the picture, is Sean Gunn still gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Probably. He does the motion capture for Rocket Raccoon, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, he will. Cause like, oh, that would be awkward, dude. Shit, like, you guys fired my brother. Fuck.
No. Oh, by the way, so James Gunn, finally get the name right. James Gunn, when he before he did Guardians of the Galaxy, I just watched one of his movies recently. It's called Super. Okay, I don't know if you watched this movie,
Oh
but
my
holy
god!
shit.
It was so dark, dude! Oh my god, dude! I watched it. It was crazy. What the fuck did I watch? I swear, when I watched that movie, I was like, it had Dwight from The Office, but when I watched,
he's playing a super crazy.
he was like a guy, like a random stranger with a costume and a hammer. And he's like, "Shut up, crime!" And I was like, "Yo, the ending." I was like, "Oh my fucking gosh, dude! This took a fucking dark."
I love that movie.
It took a dark turn, dude. I was like, "Wow, that was weird." I don't know. I was really weird. It was really weird for me.
I really like the movie because I like Dwight, like he's hilarious. So I was gonna watch the movie for him, and I thought it was like really like, imagine if this was like the origin story of like Dwight Schrute. You know, like he starts off doing this, and then all of a sudden, to leave everything behind, he just joins a paper company and changes his name to Dwight Schrute, and you know that's why he's low key weird on The Office. You know what I mean?
God. Dude, honestly, he's the only reason I watched the movie. But do you know, like, Liv Tyler was in that movie, and
she was, holy shit.
Yeah, she's Steven Tyler's daughter, dude. She's pretty awesome.
She's
I don't
cool.
know
I like her.
Yeah, I like her as well. I think she's cool. I mean, in the movie, she wasn't special. I know she was like baked in most of the movie, but like I don't know. That movie was so dark, man. Like, it was such an. It was,
man, the best scene in the whole movie was. The best scene in the whole movie was this one point where everyone's waiting in line.
Oh my god, I know
to watch a movie. Okay.
That's my favorite scene as well.
You want to tell that scene?
No. I you probably remember it better because I watched the movie years ago.
Okay, so basically it's like everyone is lining up to buy their tickets at a movie theater, and everyone, it's like a long queue, and Dwight from The Office is also waiting in line with I think he's by himself. Yeah, he's by himself. And then all of a sudden, this really douchey guy with his girlfriend just walks right up and breaks you in the middle of the line and just stands there, okay?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then Dwight has kind of been this weird superhero character, and he's just been punching like drug dealers and stuff, and he's getting really like annoyed with it. So this is the first like call to action for him. He tells the guy, "Hey, you're cutting in line. That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that." And the dude goes like, "Listen, get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk to you. Whatever. Like, you know, you're nobody. What are you gonna do?" And this dude literally goes to his car, gets dressed in his car, comes back with a plumbing wrench. Okay. No, it was a plumbing wrench. Okay, and he comes back and he says, "Go back into your line," to the same guy again. And the dude goes like, "Listen, I know you were there in the queue. Like, you can't just change your costume and come back or whatever." And this dude takes the wrench and smacks it right in his head, and this dude starts bleeding out of his face. Oh my god, it was the most horrifying thing ever.
Yeah, it was crazy. Cause like I remember, I think even the lady in the line was like, wasn't the guy who was just standing in front of me wasn't he the same guy who just put on the suit? And that was my favorite scene as well. I was like, what? This is a Dwight thing, dude. I love. That's the only reason I watched that movie, like Dwight. You know, I was like, oh my god.
Same.
But yeah, it was.
But anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. What's
So
that?
basically, going from that to James Gunn directing Guardians was a complete segue. Like
Freaking crazy,
completely
man. Because like
natural.
honestly, both Guardians of the Galaxy, like I love. I think they're definitely like my top two Marvel movies in my opinion. Actually, I don't know. Hold on. Maybe like the Avengers 4 was like number one. Like they're top two and three for me. And they were just I don't know.
Hmm.
James Gunn did a great job.
But anyways, I guess
Yeah.
now we're gonna talk about literally the 4 million other things that happened in San Diego Comic Con besides
Yeah.
like DC shit. Uh,
Uh, uh,
but so since I guess we're talking about James Gunn got fired. He
oh
put out
yeah.
some tweets.
I,
Now that I look back at Super, I was like, was this guy really like completely sane in his head? Because that stuff is really crazy. But you know what? I loved Super, and it's just
wait.
like weird humor that you either like or you don't like, and
You
whatever. He made
watched?
great movies,
You
and
read his
it
tweets?
sucks. I didn't read his tweets. I'm
Yeah,
sure it
cause like
was. People say that it's like crazy.
yeah, some of the shit, I don't know. I never saw the tweets, but like from what I heard, like there were things that like really like everybody was like, okay, I really hope he didn't mean all the shit that he said. But he said like, but the thing is, he tweeted those things like like 10 years ago. Like people change a lot in ten
Yeah,
years. You know what I'm saying? And like he said it himself in his like apology letter or whatever. He's like, look, fine, I'll step down or whatever. But like all that shit that I said was back in the day. Like I'm a very different guy now, and like like it's so weird. Like why is like my past like coming back to haunt me? First of all, who the fuck would go through 10 years of tweets just to like like attack this guy for no reason? It's so weird. I don't know. I feel that this is some like conspiracy theory shit. Like I don't know. Someone's out to like someone has something against him. But like there's like Marvel directors. I don't know, maybe one of the Russo brothers or like I don't know, Joss Whedon. I don't know. Like some
hmm
of the, I think two of them, they deleted their Twitter accounts to like protest against like firing like James Gunn. They're like, this is bullshit. They shouldn't fire him
Oh
for.
damn.
Yeah, they deleted their Twitter accounts. They're like, no, I'm not okay with me. But I don't know, man. It's like
hmm
it's weird. Like I
and by the way, he had apologized for those tweets like many years before, and the whole thing. And this is what a lot of people are saying. When someone like Marvel, like which is like a juggernaut, and they might have made, I don't know, like 10 movies when the first Guardians came out or something. Like they've done their research about this dude. They've screened him top to bottom, and they
yeah
knew about the
yeah
tweets. Like
for sure.
there's no way that they didn't know about it. And now to kind of make a reaction, it was a very reactionary kind of decision, and
Yeah,
it felt,
honestly.
I don't know, people are saying it's weird, but I don't know, it
Because, like,
seemed
I
kind of
mean,
off just because dude's making good movies. Yeah.
I don't blame Disney because they are like a family like friendly
Family.
like brand or whatever. But like I feel like if they didn't do that, they would get a lot of backlash from like the haters, and that's like bad publicity. Because like okay, the media is just like waiting to the media is just like a bunch of sharks is waiting for you to drop in the water, you know. And it's like
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
if Disney, even if Disney doesn't think it's a big deal, and they ended up like they're like this is his past, and oh, fuck it, like I don't care, like they would get so much backlash from the haters and from like the media, and they're gonna and like probably fucking this dumbass writer of the Harry Potter would have tweeted about it. What's her name again? Freaking yeah, she's so like
J.K. Rowling.
yeah, J.K. Rowling needs to calm that fuck down, dude. She's so involved in like so much shit. Like shut up, man. Like stop trying to be so edgy, okay? From a business like point of view, like I guess they had no option but to do it. But I feel like they owe him an apology. They're like, yo man, fuck, I'm sorry that we gotta fire you, man, but you know how it goes, man, in this business, like shit, like we can't ruin our like tarnish our company's like name because of one director's past, like like or just because we're standing up for one director. So it shows how big Disney is. Even like no matter how big of a director you are, like they will drop your ass like in no time if it means like like protecting their like image to fucking 5-year-olds or whatever.
By the way, yeah, 5 years. By the way, for Guardians 3, like James Gunn already wrote the entire script and he's already submitted it and it's already done. So he's still gonna be like, I mean, I guess he's still gonna be credited as the like writer of the movie, but
Oh,
not the
okay.
director. Like I would have honestly thought maybe they just don't renew his contract for any future movies and just like let him do Guardians 3 and call
Yeah,
it quits, and because he's already written the movie, you know what I mean?
dude. Honestly,
So it felt, I don't know,
yeah, I think
weird.
they should still like give him credit for that at least, because like I don't think anybody else will do a better job than James Gunn on like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Because like I was kind of heartbroken when I found out about James Gunn. I was kind of sad. I was like, shit, man, I can't believe this happened to my boy James.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
a lot of people were saying, that Taika Waititi should probably direct Guardians 3 then, just because he's got a very similar vibe to
yeah.
Guardians 3 and Thor
I agree.
Ragnarok,
I agree.
but whatever.
I think you do a good job because like when you I don't know someone with like amazing like I don't know humor because James Gunn's like humor was
Yeah,
pretty evident in this movie. But yeah, we'll see, man. What the fuck else do we have to go talk about, man?
it's
Oh
only
shit.
2 a.m. and
Oh shit.
3:30 a.m. in India right now. So I guess now we have to kind of get through Game of Thrones and Glass. Those are the two things we wanted to
Okay.
talk about.
Okay.
Let me clear out Glass real quick, just because
Okay.
it's a very short thing and I can get it out real quick.
Okay.
So Glass, and this is like major spoilers, and you guys should watch. I mean, stop watching or hearing whatever. This movie, Glass, is a sequel to Split and Unbreakable, and it's phenomenal because it's literally a sequel. The first movie came out freaking, I don't know, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, in 2001, I think. And it's the trailer looks unbelievable. It's a movie I'm really hyped to see just because Split was phenomenal. If you're a fan of like M Night Shyamalan movies, earlier movies and not the latest ones, but if you kind of know him as a director, you know that he has a lot of like amazing twists and this and that. And while watching Split, when you see the twists of like James Dunn being in the movie, it's pretty crazy. And now that this trailer has come out, it honestly looks phenomenal. And can't wait for Sam Jackson, Bruce Willis, and James McAvoy to face off in a Glass 2019 coming to you.
All right, bitches. No, I'm kidding. Cut that part out.
Class is in session.
Okay, so
Welcome to Game of Thrones 101.
all right, so yeah, there's a panel, there's a panel on Game of Thrones for season 8 apparently, in Comic Con, San Diego. Apparently, they're gonna. So there were rumors that they're gonna start 5 spin-offs of the show, and those rumors were like okay, so like they were all gonna be prequels to the current Game of Thrones show, and so that idea was apparently scrapped, and they're not making 5 sequels anymore. Like 4 of those were scrapped, and because a lot of those like whatchamacallit stories were overlapping, and just to avoid a lot of like continuity errors, they were like, you know what, we're gonna release one show for now, and eventually because like okay, HBO loves Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones really rakes in the moolah for HBO, and so they have nothing. They don't have a reason why they wouldn't want to make fucking like 15 more like sequels or prequels to Game of Thrones. But it's just that when the overlapping time and like it's just like a lot of those stories like have a lot to do because like they were gonna have 5 different spin-offs, and and those spin-offs were gonna happen at the same time, so they're just gonna like merge a few of those TV shows together, and it's gonna maybe like start maybe they're gonna like release one TV show, and for the next couple of years we just know that there's gonna be one prequel, and eventually they haven't said anything yet, but eventually they might come up with another prequel, and they're not gonna give much information on that because maybe they'll change their mind or whatever. Like what we know for now, I'm not gonna talk about the story because we've been through that fucking bullshit once. But so They're going to release the season 8 like early next year. It's gonna like everybody was speculating that like oh my god like ours is gonna be like at the end of the year or like when is it gonna be? But like they said that like it's probably gonna be like maybe like late April or like early May, like max like somewhere in May, somewhere around May. So so we won't have to wait that long for season 8. But yeah, and like for what we know about the prequel that's coming out, like that's gonna be coming out in 2020, and we won't have to wait that long for that. I think it might come out in like February or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on these like fucking dates because maybe I'm getting them wrong. But yeah, let's hope they come like one after the other because holy shit, I hate waiting for Game of Thrones because that shit gets me heated. But yeah, regardless, the show, the prequel, is going to be called The Long Night, and as a lot of people know, The Long Night is basically like, so the current timeline or like the current TV show begins with like Robert Baratheon as king, and like whatchamacallit, not Tony Stark, fuck man,
Rob Stark.
Rob Stark as like the Warden of the North, and like so in the show and in the book, there was a period where it was a generation of like winter on in like the current show they keep talking about like winter's coming, but like winters in like Westeros or like the whole fucking like country or like the whole world is like it lasts forever, and like the last winter that was like it was called the Long Night, and that shit was when the Night King was born. So we're gonna get to know a lot about like the Night King's origin. It's gonna involve a lot of like Children of the Forest stories. Like no actors have been like casted for the next show, but they're saying that like the first season is gonna come out by early 2020. So yeah, but I'm pretty psyched for that, and we're gonna get to see. They were gonna make TV shows like separate TV shows. They're gonna be like okay. So this TV show, I mean, like the Long Night is gonna take place like 10,000 years before the current like the current Game of Thrones that we were watching. Yeah. So this is before like Aegon's like fucking like when he takes over the King's Landing and whatnot. So this is like way in the past. And from the history that we know about Game of Thrones, like it might be wrong because 10,000, because like in the how the fuck do I explain this? Okay, so the history that we know are mostly legends, and they say that like stories of the past have been like gone generation to generation, and a lot of things have been like altered from generation to generation. And
so it's like the Bible, basically.
Oh my god!
Yo, this is gonna get flagged by FBI and like I don't know the Secret Service.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, Anthony's not gonna be okay with this. So generation to generation, stories have been like changed a little bit and whatnot. And so back then there weren't any maesters writing the stories down. And maesters came in like way later, so they started writing the history and started putting all the history that when they started, it was like way like after like the Long Night and way after all this shit. So all the shit in the Citadel, all the information, all the history, it's not as accurate as everybody thinks it is, because it's the stories from the past that've been told down like generation to generation. So we might get to see some interesting new changes in like the new show. And we're gonna know about like the Starks' history. There was gonna be a TV show, like a prequel that was gonna be specifically based on the Targaryens and like the Valyrian rise, but they might merge it into this TV show because I think that, like it's like overlapping or some shit. But that's gonna be really interesting to watch. But yeah,
are the White Walkers gonna show up in the prequel show?
I mean, the creator of the White Walkers, he's gonna be born in the prequel show. So yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And there's gonna be wars. There's gonna be like they're gonna show the war of like the Children of the Forest. that they fought. They might talk about how the wall was built, like how the Giants helped build the wall. They might talk about it's shit to look forward to. Fuck, dude, I'm excited. Okay,
And what about dragons showing up?
them bitches better be there, dog. Because I don't know. I want to see dragons, dude. Shit, because like in this budget issues and whatever, we don't get to see dragons as much in like the new like Game of Thrones right now. But I really hope, and I hope they don't pull a fucking Titans with their budget and they like use it well. I don't mind if we see less dragons. I just hope it's not like fucking like Dragonland dragons, like you know what I'm talking about. I hope they're not like fucking like cartoony like fucking Charizard dragons. I hope that they keep the fucking they keep up the good quality content that they've been like. So the new show, George R.R. Martin will be producing it. He said, he's actually quite humble. He said this thing where he was like, I feel like I get more credit than I deserve on the Game of Thrones TV show. He's like, anything that's related to Game of Thrones, it's automatically like, I've given credit for it, but it's like, cause like, he wrote a couple of episodes, I don't know if he wrote episodes, and like, he helped with writing with season 1 and season 2, and like earlier seasons he helped a lot, but then like later seasons he kind of like stepped away, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna let these guys do their thing. But like this show, he's gonna be more involved. He's gonna be producing it. He helped like write the whole thing. And that's actually, I thought, was pretty cool, and I think that's gonna be a very interesting thing to look forward to as George R. R. Martin fans. Even though I haven't read a single fucking book. We can expect stories of like the Night Watch and how it was made. And we can expect stories of like Children of the Forest, Azor Ahai, like the whatchamacallit, the theory of Azor Ahai. We might get to hear more about that. And that's pretty much it, dude. That's it for this week, guys. Hopefully our next week we might be we're thinking of interviewing more people, and more people. We're thinking of interviewing people. And
talking about Mission Impossible, maybe.
Yeah, try to get more guest stars on the show. You know what I'm saying? So expect fucking Shah Rukh Khan and Jerry Seinfeld on this show, like eventually. No, I'm kidding.
We're going for bigger actors, right?
We're going for hot shots, like fucking like.
Chunky Pandey and.
Chunky Pandey. Go big or go home for Amar Akbar Anthony. Yeah, like bro.
Yeah, next week it's Rocky Sawant, Chunky Pandey, freaking all the Big Boss season 9 cast.
Yeah.
Salman Khan's driver.
KKR. Wait, KRK.
Yeah.
Sorry, not KRK. And who else? Dinchak Pooja probably. I'm talking A-listers here, guys. Dinchak Pooja, okay? That's just like, oh man. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this week's podcast. Hope you guys have a great Monday, and yeah.